It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to another conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, we're creeping up on holiday time. Exciting time to be a part of the association, but more than anything, we want to give thanks to everyone all those stations that bring you the show every week, and everyone who makes this all possible. Eddie Garrison, everyone else with Radio 1 that makes this happen, and to you, to your staff, and everybody involved. And we can never thank enough what the individual athletic directors, coaches, administrators, principals, superintendents, everyone down, fans, everybody involved who make high school sports an enormously important part of the fabric of life in Indiana.
That's exactly right, Coach. And, first of all, thanks to everybody that you just mentioned, because this is, in sport, we learn to celebrate as a team. And Indiana is certainly a team when it comes to the protection and the support and the development of high school athletics in the state. And so, but what I'm so proud about, too, is, people, they don't just go to work. They learn. They go out and try to figure out how to do things better. And I'm actually spending some time with the athletic directors from around the country. But I spent a day recently with my counterparts in the Midwest, the executive directors and commissioners of states that go from the Dakotas up to the Great Lakes and over to Ohio, and we spend an entire day just talking about education-based athletics and what's working well in their states, and we talk about what's working well in Indiana, and we learn from each other as you do in a team setting. And then we have, I think, 75 athletic directors down here in Austin, Texas, learning how to get better at their craft. And a lot of people think ADs just go to games, and just show up. And I know you were one too, Coach.
Right.
Because the only time they ever see an athletic director is at an event, but they don't see him at the school on a daily basis, and bus duty, and all the things that they try to do to provide a quality experience for children in this state. And so, and I think Indiana has the largest contingent of athletic directors here at this conference. And again, it's about getting better.
Well, I'm not surprised to hear that we have the largest number, because, we're pretty provincial in the state of Indiana. We truly believe that we do things a lot better than everyone else. But we've learned a lot of important lessons from our colleagues. And I think one of the things that people don't understand is that this is a labor of love. If you started to pay coaches and administrators and athletics in our high schools on an hourly basis, they wouldn't be. You'd be stunned the amount of hours that they put in. I mean, it is a labor-intensive occupation, and seldom do they get the recognition that they so richly deserve.
No, that's exactly right. And for somebody to be successful out there, there has to be a family commitment. It's just not the athletic director wears a male or a female athletic director. It's their spouse, it's their children, it's their grandparents. There's a lot of places we go that their entire family is helping running an athletic event for their kids, and
right.
Or for the kids of that school, and that's what makes this special. But sometimes, Coach, and this is one thing that makes it tough, it also comes because they put themselves in the eye of the public, what I would call an unfair criticism of time, of people who really don't know what they do and how much passion they do it with, and so those are the tough parts of this job. But we have phenomenal people in this state doing this work.
Commissioner, I echo your sentiments wholeheartedly. I wish you and the Neidig family a very Merry Christmas, and wish the same for your staff and everybody involved in high school athletics in our state at whatever level, whatever capacity. Enjoy the holidays. Please be safe. And when you get a chance, get out there and support the student athletes in your community. Commissioner Neidig, have a great holiday.
You too, Coach. Have a great holiday with your family.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
And good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region here on the Region Sports Network, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, regionsports.com, and the IHSAA Champions Network. We come to you tonight from Lake Central High School as the Region Sports Network features Indiana High School boys basketball as the Munster Mustangs come in to take on the Lake Central Indians. Michael Brenner here on site, along with my dad, Ron Bradner. Dad, good to be with you. Happy welcome back to the Region Sports Network.
Yeah, it's nice to be here, getting ready for retirement, and just want to see some basketball.
Retirement from the Postal Service, of course, a longtime employee in the town of Munster, obviously. And, I'm going to say it right off the bat. This is very special for us and for me in general. This has been a tradition of ours since I was just a little guy running through these gyms. And we've taken this game in just pretty much every year for the last 20 or so years. And now, for the first time, you and I get to stand here and call the action. Really exciting for us tonight.
Yeah, usually we're just watching it. It's usually a really, really good game. You get the kids come out to see this. Break is just around the corner. Sometimes break has already started with this game. It all depends what day Christmas falls on.
Yeah. So definitely a fun holiday tradition. I know this week I was talking to a couple of the coaches before the game. One thing that always makes it a little bit difficult this particular week, this is finals week for a lot of these guys. So when you got, dealing with finals, you're dealing with a big game like this, and this game always is. I don't care what the records say. This is always a very, very intense matchup.
Yeah, right. Some of these kids play on the same team in the summer, so they know each other. They know what each guy can do. They know who can shoot. You're going back to Nick Anderson, all the way back to the Summers boys way back in the day where we watched that Munster Summers, 4 seconds to go in the game, dribbled all the way down, lay it in. Munster didn't think he could get there in 4 seconds, I guess. It's always been a good game, though. It's always
Enjoyable. Crowd gets into it. The student sections are always here. You can see Lake Central's having the whiteout. They're here in full force. I see some of the Munster fans across the way. They're here as well, and it's always just a fun back and forth. The band is out for Lake Central tonight as well, so always a very fun atmosphere. Can't wait to get this one going. You have Lake Central coming in 2-2 on the year. A little bit of a different start this year, Dad, compared to last year. Last year they got off to a big 13-0 start to start the year, one of the best starts in program history. This year they're starting off 2-2. I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Sexton about this, but I wonder if that kind of maybe humbles you a little bit. Starting 13-0 can kind of get a little bit, into your head a little bit to start a year, maybe a little too, not full of yourself, but a little too into yourself, and then all of a sudden it kind of spirals maybe a little bit down. But now starting off like this, okay, we got work to do right off the bat. Yeah, you get off to a big start like that, you're already into the mid-January, you're starting in February, you're a month away from sectionals thinking that you're rolling, and now you're playing some tough conference teams. Yeah. This conference is just brutal. It's like the Big Ten. You got to be physical. There's a lot of big boys, and it's depending on who the officials are that night. Up north, there's a little more hand checking than there is down south. So that's one of the things that all the teams up north have always complained about when they go down to state tournaments. Once you get past Lafayette, it's a whole different ball game by the referees. That's one of the things. Yeah, we just talking a little bit different. One thing when we're always like coaching or talking to youngsters is just you gotta adjust to the officials in a game as well. Sometimes in different areas, officials call things differently, which seems weird because rules are rules, but interpretations of rules can be a little different. Correct. And I can even remember when East Chicago Central just made that run that Turkovich used to talk about that all the time. The same officials, some of them we had downstate. He goes, but you didn't call that upstate. Yeah. So I'm telling my kids, you can get away with what you got away with all year long. Now all of a sudden, the hand check's got to be an arm bar, and you can't hold. The physicality down in the post. If you got the big guys, you want them to be able to do what they can do. Well, that is one of the things that Coach Sexton has really been hammering into his team since he got with this program, is definitely being the more physical team every single night. And if you've watched them the last year and now a couple of games in, you will notice, yes, this is a very physical team. So that's something that they're going to be working on throughout the course of the tenure that Coach Sexton is here. Meanwhile, you've got a lot of stability when you look at the Munster Mustangs, because you've got Coach Hackett in here now in his 25th season with the Munster Mustangs. And We talk about consistency. I went back and I looked, Dad. He started coaching back in 2000, 2001. He's got a pretty good record against the Lake Central Indians, 17-8. There was one year where they played in back-to-back games because of a tournament. 17-8 versus one program. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's really good. You know, their conference is a little bit different. Back when I played, we were all in the same conference. But with the schools getting bigger and smaller, all the conferences have changed. You have to play to the team you're playing. It's a little bit different now than it was back in the 80s and 70s.
Well, and the Munster Mustangs definitely have a tough week. We talked about finals week. They definitely have a tough week this week. They have Lake Central tonight. They will face Crown Point, one of the top teams in the area, on Friday. So kind of a gauntlet run here already this week. And they've had other DAC teams, and they just had a really tough game against the East Chicago Central Cardinals that you saw right here on the Region Sports Network. So we are just a few minutes away from the start of this one. We're going to step aside. You are watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual card, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
That's the girls.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Can't wait for summer, but dreading the heat because your old AC let you down? Don't sweat it out this summer. Call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. The professionals there can fix you up. Install a central air unit that'll last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable. And with a 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Give them a call at 219-923-4441 or check them out on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com.
And we welcome you back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Bradner here along with Ron Bradner, who is enjoying the festivities here this evening as he's working his way toward retirement. So many years in the town of Munster delivering the mail. I know they are going to miss the mailman over in Munster.
Yeah, I've seen
We're
a lot
set for a really good matchup between the Lake Central Indians and the Munster Mustangs. We'll bring you the starting lineup here in just a moment. We're about 30 seconds away from introductions. We'll have the national anthem as well. Another fun feature of tonight's game is Lake Central will be recognizing their recently crowned baseball state champions as well. They won the state title back in June down at Victory Field in Indianapolis, so they will be receiving their championship rings here tonight. And I got to see a few pictures of those rings. They're looking pretty sick.
Yeah, that's you gotta like that, man. That's and to come back to see this game at the same time, can't beat it.
So the fans will begin to rise to their feet. We'll make some introductions. We're about to have our national anthem here at Lake Central, and based on where we're perched here at the moment, Dad, we're about to have everyone facing us, which is always one of the fun parts of broadcasting from this particular corner of Lake Central's gym. It's always fun. I know, like as we mentioned before, it is finals week, but good to see a good showing of students from both sides here tonight. It's just something with this rivalry between Lake Central and Munster. It has always maintained a very civil tone over the years. Hasn't gotten too physical, or maybe some of the back and forth between the student sections has gotten a little personal from time to time, but still.
Yeah, that goes with the territory when you really know all the kids. That's
all right. We will tune you in to our national anthem. All right, a great rendition by the Lake Central Band for our national anthem tonight. And now we will introduce the starting lineups for both teams. And I will have to get the light out because they will turn the lights off here at Lake Central when it's their team being introduced. First out onto the floor for the Munster Mustangs, though, number 2, the 6'2 junior Josh Malloy. Followed by number 5, the 5'11 junior Victor Goramato. Followed by number 11, the 6'3 senior Zaire Keys. Next out onto the floor, number 20, the 6'1 senior Blake Trilly. And then finally out onto the floor, number 30, the 6'3 senior Tyler Fuller. And as we mentioned, coached by Mike Hackett in his 25th year with the Munster Mustangs. And as we said, the lights will go out here at Lake Central as their starters are about to be introduced. And there's going to be a little bit of a light show down there. We got a little hype video, though. I don't know if we can pick up that hype. Yep, we got it on the screen for you. Set new standards here at Lake Central. Getting some hype videos and then the light show getting started as well. Of course, it's no Bulls introduction, but
yeah, the modern technology. If we'd have done this back in Morton in 1980, it would have taken 38 minutes to get the lights back on. We've got to let them warm back up.
All right, first down on the floor for the Lake Central Indians, the 5'10 senior, number 4, Spencer Gale. And now number 20, the 6'3 senior, Noah Salvador. And now number 25, the 6'3 senior, Zach Green. Here comes the 6'5 junior, number 33, Noah Enyart. And then the 6'5 senior, number 32, Jordan Ireland. And just like that, the lights pop right back on here at Lake Central High School. Our game night forecast, our Tuesday night forecast, brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. It is a very comfortable 35 degrees outside. I'm sure you're more happy to be inside than you are outside.
Yeah, don't do well with that cold any longer now I'm getting older.
All right, so that's your game night forecast brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping the cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Ready to tip things up. Our officials today, David Uran, Chris Haro, and it's Steve Jovanovic. Lake Central here in the far corner. Salvador is stuck in the corner, and he steps on the baseline. It'll be an early turnover. It was almost a turnover. Lake Central was able to regather and then kept it there. So now Munster with their first possession.
Yeah, they pushed it down into the post. The guy just got a little bit too far behind the basket and didn't have a shot and had to pass it back out.
Guaramato up against Gale as he crosses the timeline. Feeds it inside to Fuller. Guaramato to the right side. Back to Malloy here at the free throw line. Kicks this out, trying to find some open lanes here. But Lake Central, we mentioned one of the things that Coach Sexton said he wanted when he came in here was the idea of being the more physical team. Night in, night out.
They're tough man-to-man. They're right on their dribbler.
And you're one of those guys that's always a physical player, always jumping onto the floor for those. 3-ball put up. Off the back of the iron, rebound is loose. It's picked up by Green after the shot put up by Zaire Keys.
Yeah, it has a long rebound. Luckily, Lake Central, the hustle play, got the first one so far.
Going up, trying to lay the first one in off the window. We'll have a offensive foul here against Lake Central early on, as it was Green trying to go up for the first shot. And the first foul is going to be against Ireland.
Yeah, Jordan just came over the back a little bit. He jumped just a little bit too late. If he'd have timed it better, he could have got over him without making contact.
It's about a minute 15 into this one. Still no score. Trying to slip down underneath, and we'll have the second foul issued against Ireland, who had his hands up in the body position there, just kind of forcing that body a little too much towards the baseline.
Yeah, he did a nice backdoor cut, and they got him right to the basket. They're not going to let him be shooting free throws here, though. They can line up all they want. He passed that ball.
So checking into the game is Brady Connor, the 6'2 senior. Yeah, was not in the active shooting, so no free throws there. Guaramato will inbound the ball. Gets to the corner here. Malloy for the 3-ball. Hits the iron, rattles around, doesn't go. Enyart with the rebound, and now we'll have a foul here against Fuller.
Yeah, right now.
So before the first points are put up, we've got 3 fouls.
Yeah, the officials aren't going to let them just hammer each other. But it was a clean foul.
Well, in a game like this, you got to, if you're the officials, you got to set the tone early to make sure that, we talked about this being a fairly, civil game over the years. They're going to make sure it stays that way.
Yeah, we've seen everything from a cut cheek after a made free throw to it's civil, but they're still contact. For a non-contact sport, there's guys they're playing hard. That's what they're supposed to do.
Green dishes it off Connor. Connor dishes out to Gale. Gale now to the three-point line for Green, who can't get it to go. Rebound loose, picked up by the Mustangs. They'll come down in transition. Salvador there defensively. Nice move here as Guaramato from the free throw line tries to get the first bucket. No good. Green comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, Munster on the defensive rebound pushed it up court right away. Andrean used to do that way back in the day.
Those are the Dan Dockich days?
That's after that even, though. They had the
trying to hit the cutter, who Brady Connor stopped on the cut at the block.
Yeah.
So the right idea, just not executed properly. So now Munster will call for a set here with 5:33 left to go in this opening quarter. Still scoreless between these two teams that have a long history against each other. Trilly picks up that loose ball there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to try to dribble again. He actually had a controlled dribble, so the official was waiting.
Right in the baseline, trying to kick to the corner. Very close and a tightrope there for Fuller. Three-point ball is good this time for Malloy. And just like that, we'll have a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So it took this long to get the first points. And you had to believe that whichever team was going to score first, that fan base was going to erupt. And so far, the Munster Mustang fan base has done so.
Yeah, it's best to score first.
Well, if you're wondering kind of the trends of this one, Lake Central won last year 40-37 and has beaten Munster. Munster has not won in the regular season since late January of 2022. But when you talk about maybe where it matters more, I think sectionals maybe matter a little bit more than regular season records. Munster has had 3 straight victories in sectionals over the Lake Central Indians.
Yeah, we're going to see the baseball team here later get their rings. We've been to a lot of the Munster Lake Central baseball games as well. And in those games that we've watched, neither team ever throws a pitcher that they might see in the sectionals.
Well, these two teams will potentially see each other in sectionals. As we mentioned, they're in Sectional 1 that will be here at Lake Central, obviously in March. Of course, Munster might be happy about that. The last time they won a sectional was right here on this floor. Green with the right hand, stopping at the free throw line. Connor dishes back out here, looking for something open here. But Munster is just locking it down defensively, trying to find some kind of open lane as Enyart trying to float one up. This one loose, picked up by Connor, who puts it back home. Staying with the play, Brady Connor.
Yeah, he didn't give up, didn't just go back and play defense. He stayed to make sure Munster gained full possession, and they didn't. So
Trilly kicks it out. Fuller for 3. Yes! So only 2 buckets for the Munster Mustangs, but they're in the 3 variety, so they're up 6-2 early.
Yeah, they passed the ball around the outside pretty well. It's quick. It's tough to defend that if you're playing man-to-man.
Well, that was a good in-and-out game as well. Lake Central trying to do a little bit of that as well. Gale almost had this one poked away. Green steps inside. Jumper off the back of the iron. No good. Here comes Munster in transition. Looking at Trilly.
Yeah, that was a good shot. He just didn't hit it.
Trilly trying to find inside the paint here. Jumper. This time it's good for Keys. Pretty good run here for the Mustangs. They lead by 6 early on in this one.
Yeah, it looks like Lake Central has had some shots and just not taken them. I don't know if they're just waiting to try to get it down into the post. Their only basket is a layup.
Green from the wing. Kicks it out. Gale drives, steps around the defense and puts it in.
Yeah, that was like that Euro step that he just got right by his guy.
But he didn't have that gather foot down, so he's good. The gather step, I should say.
Yeah.
Keys bumping against the defense.
Travel.
Right in the baseline. We'll have a traveling call here against Fuller. So that'll get the Lake Central fan base into this one.
Yeah, that's that where you quick gather it, and then instead of putting it down, they say that you take 2 steps before the ball hits the ground. That's a high school thing. Kids are in a hurry.
So Lake Central with a chance to pull this one within a point if they can hit a 3. Haven't really seen that attempt here beyond the perimeter.
No, and Munster seems to be sagging.
Green from inside the 3-point arc.
Yeah, right at the free throw line, got right to the 15-footer there, just like a free throw, elevated, nice shot.
And just like that, it's a 1-possession game. Egu has checked into the game for the Munster Mustangs. Malloy kicks this one out, where Amato gives into the corner. Egu kicks it out now. Goddard has also checked into the game for the Munster Mustangs. Trilly here for 3, and he knocks it in.
Yeah, they moved the ball around the perimeter pretty quickly.
Well, one of the things that you're always going to get out of a Munster team, very methodical, very technical. This one loose. And they say, hold on. One of our officials is going to come in and say, I saw something a little bit different. These are 2 veteran officials, Chris Haro and David Uran, getting together here and talking about it. And they're going to say Munster. Well, we talk about 2 veteran officials, and these guys work together a number of years. So they're willing to talk to each other. And one of the things that a lot of officials do, sometimes they don't want to overstep on their partner a little bit, but sometimes when they see something a little bit different, hey, they don't have to worry about disrespecting the other one when they've worked together for so long and so well.
Yeah, and as a player on the court, that you want them to converse. That's if one of them had a better view, you want them to speak up.
Guaramato in the corner. This one out of bounds. It'll be Munster ball.
Yeah, he lost his balance. He was getting out, so he just threw it off the Lake Central guy.
1:20 to go here in the opening quarter. A lot of action already. $1:15 to go. It's Guaramato, excuse me. Gives it to Malloy. Malloy breaking ankles, tried to pass that one. Kroenke stopped that one, though, immediately. Found a ball in his hands and then had to give it up immediately. Trilly for three. That's the first three-pointer missed, and we'll have a foul here against the Mustangs.
Yeah, they're calling that over the back right away. They don't want that to escalate throughout the game.
So the foul is going to be on Igu, the 6'3" senior. Now, we should take this opportunity to say it's really not an over the back is not something you're going to find in the rule book. It's the positioning and throwing guys off balance. That's really the call they're looking for here. As Bill Meyer has checked into the game for Lake Central. Enyart with it here, dribbles to his right, gives up. Cooper Kroenke from the free throw line, banks it home.
Yeah, that was good right at the top of the key, cut right to the free throw line, got a nice shot up.
Driving baseline, stopping in the paint. Now Tryven putting up the pressure there is Goddard with his big 6'5" frame. Again, we encourage you to stay tuned at halftime as Lake Central will be recognizing their state champion baseball team. They'll be receiving their state championship rings. Free throw good for Goddard. The foul, by the way, was on Noah Sabador, his first. Two for two from the free throw line. We've talked about it over the years, Dad. Free throws so pivotal in games like this that you know are going to be close down the stretch.
Yeah, if you can shoot over 80%, that you can usually win a game in high school with that.
Kroenke inside the arc here, kicks it out. Green dribbles inside, loses the ball, picked up by Kroenke, who throws it up as time was expiring. Not a bad shot to put up. It came near the rim, but that'll end the first quarter with Munster up 13-8. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
First home, dream home, forever home. Tech Credit Union has the right home loan for you. Their loan officers could help you purchase a home, refinance your current mortgage, or unlock your home's equity to get cash out for any purpose. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they are the better option for a home loan. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brandner here along with Ron Brandner. We're going to name some award winners at the end of this one. We've got the Crow Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, brought to you by the Crow Companies. They're proud to recognize superheroes on the basketball court. We'll have other awards. We'll mention those in just a little bit. Start of the second quarter here. Munster on top. Feeding down to the baseline, left his man open. That man was Tyler Fuller.
Yeah, he pretty much just cut back door underneath the basket. The two Lake Central guys ran into one another and left him wide open.
Connor driving, putting it up. trying to get the ball to fall because there was a whistle. It would have been an and one. As it is, he will go to the line, and he will shoot two. Those other awards we were talking about, we've got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn, Wait, Learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Missing the first one, Brady Connor. And then our final award is the Proud Union Home Play of the Game, presented by the Region Sports Network. One for two on the line for Brady Connor. So it makes it a 6-point game, 2-possession. Gale putting some pressure in on Trilly here to try to maybe get a turnover here, maybe a 10-second count. Malloy drives on that right side, slips and goes down. Is able to get back up, though. They'll have to look at that spot a little bit later. Trying to meet the contact, and we've got a blocking foul underneath against Lake Central.
Yeah, that was a little late, but both teams are taking it strong to the basket, though.
So the foul is on Connor, and it sends Keys to the line, who knocks down the first one. And we've seen some of the best hands in the business, just like Bricklayers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. Join Bricklayers Local 4 and start building your career today. Visit baclocal4.org to find out more. 2 for 2 from the line that time for Keys.
So Munster's 4 for 4 from the line so far. They've always been a good free throw shooting team.
Enyart off to Kroenke, trying to find that open lane, and we're going to have another blocking foul. I got to say, first off, the job in officiating crew is not easy. Being an official is one of the hardest jobs, and it's a thankless job. And then to try to make a call like that, I think that might be the toughest call in basketball, charge or block.
And depending on what school you're rooting for, he either got it right or he got it wrong.
You are correct.
Because everybody in Munster's thinking he was set.
Missing that attempt there from Green. Now, I will say, being set is one thing. You are given a little bit of leeway with stepping obliquely, if you will. So you can step back a little bit to brace yourself. So they give you a little bit of wiggle room. Trying to fight for that rebound after the miss. You talk about Munster 4 of 4 from the line. Lake Central just 1 of 4 from the charity stripe. So Munster here on the perimeter, right in front of the Lake Central bench. A little bit of crisscross action, and so they're calling for the ball out of bounds, but we've got a foul here. It's going to be a pushing foul. That time it's going to be against Kroenke.
Yeah, just a little bit too aggressive. And they're going to call him in to reach in.
Jose Foster has also checked into the game here. Trilly to his left. Strong defense there from Kroenke. Really nice work there as Keys drives inside. This one blocked away. Ball loose. But it's picked up by the Mustangs. Nice block.
Yeah, really good help defense from Kroenke.
Malloy with a jumper. He's got 5 points in the game. And now Munster starting to build this lead here. It's up to 10.
Yeah, and I'm wondering.
And now you got the Munster student section, Dad, screaming, "We can't hear you," to Lake Central. So it's rivalry, one of the best in the region for sure. Noah Enyart at the top of the key, gives off Green. Green, this will be a 2-point basket. If it falls, it does.
So after missing the 2 free throws, he came right back, took a nice jump shot right from the free throw line, nothing but net.
Well, I know one of your favorite quotes, shooters shoot.
Yeah. Got to forget about what happened 3 seconds ago.
Keys
nice
had
deal.
this one picked away. Here goes Gale. Waits for the defense. It's poked away. He was trying to anticipate the defense attacking him, and I think Lake Central is looking for a foul. They didn't get it.
Yeah, actually, he was on the left side. Instead of laying it up because he thought he might get it blocked, he tried to go to the right side. I think he actually got blocked by the bottom of the backboard.
Kicks this one out of bounds. It'll be Lake Central ball. 5:02 to go, so we'll see what kind of baseline inbound play Coach Sexton will draw up here. A couple of check-ins as well.
Yeah, Ireland coming back in.
Comes out, and Ireland comes back in. Ireland picked up those 2 fouls early in the game. Salvador, one of the best three-point shooters, just off the mark there, but that's who you're going to want to get it to. This one tapped out. Green.
Yeah, he got a really good look on that out of bounds. They set a screen and waited and had him right in the corner. I think
Salvador, one of the better three-point shooters in Northwest Indiana. Green with a jumper, good.
Yeah, that's just a smooth jump shot.
Makes it a 2-possession game here with 4:33 to go. Guaramato up against Gale. Gets around the screen. Here's Malloy. I will say both teams really smothering defense. Here comes the help. A very interesting play there. That ball was very close to the out-of-bounds line. That's one where maybe Spencer Gale could have just picked that one up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't go after the ball after he stripped it. He let it bounce and then unless he thought he was closer to the end line and it was going to go out automatically.
Well, and one of the things, or maybe he knew he touched it. One of the things that I think a lot of times as we're watching these games is, man, the things that are going through your mind any given moment in a basketball game, especially as a high schooler, is this one tipped in by Malloy, meeting the defense and putting it in. These are high school kids, and they got, not only the things about worrying about the game, they got their social lives they're worried about, their work, they got finals this week. So everybody's thinking about something maybe a little bit different. Who knows? Trying to cut on the baseline here, poked away by the Mustangs. Here they come down in transition. Higu.
Munster really stayed with his man all the way back door.
Malloy saying clear out here, set the screen here for Green. Bounce pass right inside. Goddard gets the and one.
Yeah, that was a really nice pick and roll. He waited for him to set that pick. When he had the defensive man screen, he just rolled all the way to the basket. Lake Central's got to have someone down on the base come out and pick him up.
So Goddard will go to the line. He gets the bucket. He gets the and one call. He's looking for the actual and one part here as the foul was called on Spencer Gale, his first. And Goddard misses the free throw. So he can't complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Gale, top of the key, off to Green to the right side. Green, left-hand dribble. Stops, pops, Enyart. Right block, turns, fights through. Can't get it to go off the back iron. And we'll have a foul here, and this is probably against Noah Enyart.
Yeah, that's kind of a frustration foul. He got all the way to the basket, tried to lay it in, and missed it. And then frustration reached when Munster got the rebound.
Yeah, he had a really good move to try to get to the basket there. Just didn't pay off. All right, we're going to take a full timeout. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Happy to have you with us on a Tuesday evening. Michael Brenner here along with my dad, Ron Brenner. Glad you could join us. Zach Zanelli doing a fine job on the production. Clint Klaus doing a great job on camera. Bringing you all the action here from Lake Central tonight. One of the best rivalries in Northwest Indiana. Blake Trilly. Long-range shot from Malloy, and he knocks it down. His second triple of the day. He's got 10.
Yeah, that's 4 threes for Munster. I'm not sure if I've ever seen this from a high school team lately. Lake Central has not even attempted a three-point shot.
Yeah, definitely not the kind of basketball you're used to seeing. As this one poked out of the hands of Noah Enyart. Where Amato coming across the timeline, feeds the cutter on the baseline, kicks it out. Good ball movement. Trilly hits the back iron. Ball loose, picked up by Gale. Bale kicks it out. Kroenke. Enyart kicks it out. Ireland inside, moves out of bounds.
Wow. Looked like there's some contact, but
we did see one three-point attempt for Noah Sabador in that inbounds play in the corner.
Oh,
We've seen one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Nick Anderson's corner.
That was this corner down here.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely looked to push it inside, so I was kind of wondering why on that fast break they had it like a 3-on-2, but the Lake Central guy went all the way to the corner like that's where he wanted the ball to shoot. He got it and then didn't take the shot. Green
can't get the ball to go. Gale kicks it. Green again. Fights through, lays it in. He's got 8 of Lake Central's 15. Foul here. And that'll be against Spencer Gale. His second. That's one of the problems for Lake Central is they've been a little too foul happy in this one. That's the 5th foul of the quarter, so that means automatic 2 free throws for the Mustangs. No more and 1-and-1. Yeah, it's a little bit different Mustang offense that I've seen in a long, long time. Instead of moving the ball to penetrate, they actually try to dribble past their man and then pass off. Missing the first free throw. Don't forget to visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and Instagram for this week's Powering Indiana Peak Performers, presented by Nika IBEW, powering Indiana of Lake County. The region's most trusted electricians. Second free throw, good for Guaramato. Green kicks it to Noah Sabador for the 3. Got it! The first made three-point basket of the night for Lake Central. We mentioned Salvador, one of the better three-point shooters. If he gets it in his hand and he's got a clean look. Yeah, he was wide open. Munster, whoever had switched off on it, thought it was going to be a drive. Driving hard to the basket. Oh, popped out. It was down the cylinder and popped out. Yeah, he had taken it all the way to the rack, and that was a nice drive there. That was a really nice move by Keys. Kroenke kicks it back. Enyart trying to dish it inside. Ireland trying to play a little in and out game. He gets up. They say travel. No bucket. Yeah, they're going to say he slid his pivot foot just a little bit too far. Lake Central coach wants to push. That's what made him travel, but that's got to be that's tough for the official. He calls the traveling call, takes the points off the board, and then has to go stand right in front of the Lake Central student section. You know he's going to hear an earful. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Guts for making the call, I guess. That's down to 40 seconds here in the opening half. Kicks it into the corner. Fuller. Whoa, so close to that out of bounds line, but David Duran right there. Yeah, the official was pointing at it, but he wasn't on it. Malloy up against Green. Malloy, Guaramato. Making sure there's a 5 count. Don't want Munster to just hold the ball. That's what Trilly's doing here. He's waiting for the 5 count. Official says he's far enough away. Don't have to start that 5 count. Yeah, that was kind of weird because he said he was far enough away to not counting, and then he started counting. Top of key 3, offline, out of bounds. 1.8 seconds to go. So we're looking for the deep pass here.
Yeah, you're going to try to throw it right to the free throw line, have that guy just pivot and shoot.
And you know he's going to stay to the left or the right of the backboard. Left-handed, tipped in the air. And that's going to be short. So at the half, Munster comes into Lake Central. They have the lead, 27-18. We'll step aside for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Lake Central baseball about to get their state championship rings.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here along with Ron Brenner. Out onto the floor are the state champion Lake Central baseball team. We'll tune you in to Christina Ackman.
Lake Central is playing its best ball at the right time. The Indians have won 8 straight and now find themselves in the 4-8 final against number 1 Mooresville. Top of the first, with Tobias makes a work around the man on second. The right-hander with a pair of K's in the frame. No score after 1. To the bottom of the third, then under Ryder Hernandez. The junior watches one skip by. Tobias hustles home. Lake Central ties up at ones. Now it's time to get cozy though because the defense is blocking from here. Top of inning number 6. Pioneers looking to get the ground game going. Drew fires a laser to second and cut down the runner. We're still tied. Moving to the top of the 7th. Mooresville still trying to break through. The Pioneers have been runner to short. The throw pulls Brendan Smith off the bag. You can see him makes an acrobatic play. Tag runner out. It's still 1-1. Moments later, Tobias recovers another big time punchy and leaves the go-ahead run at second base. This one needs extras, so we go to the 8th. North the Adams from Smith. This ball is sent a mile in the air. Smith keeps his eye out the whole time and makes the nice catch against the net. We remain deadlocked. 3 innings later, Smith still making big plays with the Tribes. He makes yet another catch in foul territory. The Pioneers decide to test him, and he makes the pay for it. Smith fires to Hernandez at third. LC turns it unconventional and used up the throw. Nothing has changed as well. The defense remains in the game. Mooresville trying to get something going. Mike Zakowski ball on it. The senior gets on his first and tracks down the right wing to make the diamond catch. Indians with some more momentum, and that carries him to the bottom of the frame. Backs Packer, Quinn O'Brien, and the senior takes the ball over to win it. It takes 12 hard-pounding innings from Lake Central folks to be happy. The Indians win their first title since 2012. 2 runs the final score.
Lake Central finished ranked number 50 in the nation by Prep Baseball and number 47 in the nation by the National High School Baseball Coaches Association. Over the course of their tournament run, pitching, defense, and timely hitting was the recipe for success. Else we allowed just 4 runs throughout their entire 7-game tournament run, which saw them outscore their opponents by a total of 36-4. The quest for a state championship culminated on June 15, 2024 at Victory Field in downtown Indianapolis. The Indians and number 3 ranked Mooresville battled throughout the night in what would become the longest state baseball championship game in IHSAA history, with the Indians finally pushing across the winning run in the bottom of the 12th inning and claiming the state title by a 2-1 score. At this time, we will now present the players, staff, and coaches with their state
So congratulations to Lake Central. Certainly well-deserved. That was a tough game to call just because of not only the length of the game, but the sheer emotional roller coaster that it puts you through in a game like this. It was so much fun. Doug Nelson and I were down there, Dad. We got to call not only Lake Central's game, we got to call Ileana as well, who was looking for a three-peat. Came up just short. We didn't see some history. Unfortunately, Ileana was no-hit. That was the first no-hitter in state championship game history. And then we get to call the longest ever state championship game in state championship game history because 12 innings. And it took 12 years for Lake Central to finally get back to the promised land, but they are back. And actually, if you think about it, both coaches that have won state titles for baseball here at Lake Central are in attendance tonight. You got Mike Schwartzentruber down there taking his photo. And then you've also got Jeff Sandor, who's the assistant athletic director here at Lake Central. He's here as well. He won the state title back in 2012 with Lake Central when they won 12 years ago. So really cool opportunity for these guys to be back here. Some of these guys obviously went off to college after graduating. Got to get ready to start another season here in the spring for college baseball before you know it.
Yeah, that 2012 team, that would have been when your younger brother was still here. I actually would have coached some of those kids at Dyer in Little League in Babe Ruth.
That's right, you did. For sure. And so, I mean, just really cool opportunities. And that number 12 seemed to pop up quite a bit when, they were discussing a lot of the atmosphere of that game in general. I think there were, I know that number 12 popped up quite a bit. I can't remember every little thing. I had it written down somewhere at some point.
Yeah,
they used
the 12 months, the 12 innings.
12 years, 12 innings. But then the score 1-2. There were other things like how many players were used, how many, all that kind of stuff. And it didn't come without controversy. Obviously, there was some pitch count questions that came into it. And then, the proverbial, the very last pitch of the game that won it for Lake Central. Was it a ball? Was it a strike? Depending on who you talk to, they'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, that's just another one of those things where you're a Lake Central fan. That was ball four.
Yep.
You're rooting. It's a strike. But that kid threw really, really hard. But he was notorious to be a little more wild.
Yeah, at the very end of that game, absolutely. And then you had Hogan Denny who came in. He was the catcher for a part of the game that came in to pitch and really kind of stopped anything that Lake Central was doing offensively. Really, I think officially there was only one hit for Lake Central in the entire ball game off the bat of Griffin Tobias, and then eventually that second run came around for Lake Central to get the win. And part of that path to get to the state championship included having to go through the Munster Mustangs in a big battle in sectionals. Doug Nelson and I were on the call for that one as well. That was an intense night. You never really knew, because if you were to ask these players last summer, kind of before going into the season, what the narrative was for them, a lot of people said, yeah, you guys don't have the talent to do it. You and I did the semi-state game the previous year and watched them unfortunately fall over in LaPorte against Penn for the second year in a row. People thought that was the team that should have won state, and now you have a team who was told, you don't have a chance, and here they are, state champions.
Yeah, when you have that defeat, when you think you're better, you take it with you the next year. You got a chip on your shoulder. You want to prove to everyone that wasn't a fluke last year. We are better than most teams. But to give up 4 runs in the whole tournament, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, not a whole lot of offense given up by that Lake Central pitching staff when you got a good 1-2 punch. And that's really in a state tournament. No matter what school you are, you really need a solid 1-2. And Lake Central had that. Griffin Tobias and Blake Seaback.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different for the boys with the pitch count. And the girls, you could have one girl could pitch, 12 games. It's no wear and tear on their shoulder, which I really don't understand that. They still got to have wear and tear on the rest of their arm. They're throwing curveballs. They're throwing, off-speed pitches. I don't know, but the boys, the pitch count is probably the best thing that ever came about. I thought about it years ago your younger brother playing Little League, I kind of watched. I didn't want kids throwing the ball 85 times. And we limited the number of pitches between innings.
And just like that, we're back to basketball action. Start of the second half here at Lake Central. Lake Central with the first possession here, trying to get something going offensively for their team. Spencer Gale with it here at the top of the key. They want some offense early on here.
Yeah, they're moving the ball around the outside. They got cutters, but they're
Gale on the far side, feeding into Ireland. Ireland backing him up, had it blocked from behind. Nice move.
Yeah, he got the ball where he wanted it. It just got defensive side help, came out and blocked it from the side. That's
slipping down at the baseline, kicking this one out for the 3-ball. Keys, it's the front iron. So both teams empty possessions are out here in the second half. Gale going to call the shots here at the top of the key. Looking for Ireland off in the wing. Sabador wants to turn. They're going to lock him up. This one trying to feed down near the baseline. Can't get it to go.
Yeah, that would have been a really tough pass. You got to lob it so high over the defender that it's over your man too, and that you just didn't get it high enough.
So the foul is going to be called for Lake Central against Sabador. And this will send Guaramato to the line. Knocks the first one down.
Yeah, he was 1 for 2 from the line the first half. Comeback, he's got really nice form. Like I said earlier, Munster's always been a pretty good free throw shooting team.
And now 2 for 2 to start the second half here. Green has it popped out of his hands.
Yeah, that's just lack of paying attention there.
So it's an 11-point game. It was a 3-point game last year. Lake Central got the victory. Munster in a good position here. They want a little revenge on Lake Central's home court. Saved by Malloy. Throwing this one up, trying for the and one. Couldn't get the bucket to fall. But Malloy will go to the line to shoot 2. We'll find out who the foul was on.
It was on Connor.
And that time it's on Brady Connor. This time Malloy will go to the line. Again, we have awards we're going to hand out at the end of this one. We've got the Crowd Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowd Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court. We got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. And then, of course, we got the Proud Eden Home Play of the game presented by the Region Sports Network. 2 for 2 for Malloy. 31-18 your score. Lake Central really needs to get something going. It's starting to slip out of their hands quite a bit here. But the team that can score at will at times.
Yeah, right now down by 13 is not bad. You just don't want to fall too far behind because then you got to take bad shots.
Averaging 54 points a game through 4 games. Rebound comes to Enyart. Enyart with the little baby hook and in. Enyart with his first points of the game. Makes it back to an 11-point game.
Yeah, that was good, strong move. Staying with the ball, taking it right back to the top of the basket.
And we are going to be joined here momentarily by the head coach from the Lake Central baseball team, Mike Schwartzentruber. We'll give that to you, Coach. 3-point ball offline, rebounded here by Fuller. Inside the paint, that's no good. What a rebound coming in and scoring, Tyler Fuller. And we'll have a timeout. We'll keep it right here regardless as Fuller goes in for that bucket. Well, first of all, Coach Schwartzentruber, congratulations. I haven't really got to talk to you since the state title game, but congratulations.
Thanks.
I know how much you have put in over the years.
Yeah.
And here at Lake Central, and it finally came to fruition.
Well, I don't take the credit for it. It's, the players, it's players, coaches, it's, broadcasters, it's administration, it's everybody. It's a team effort, and it was. I don't know if it's really sunk in yet, to be honest. I'll reflect back once I probably retire one of these days. But I told our guys, we had a meal over there in the hospitality room prior to the rings, and I just told them, thanks for everything. This is a night, this is a run you'll remember forever.
Did you keep it together talking to the guys?
Yeah, I was pretty good tonight. I'm usually not, but I was tonight.
I've seen you on some of those senior nights and talking to those teams.
Yeah, it gets pretty rough.
Yeah, it's hard to see some of the kids graduate and leave.
Well, you've had a lot of success here at Lake Central, so I know you've had a phenomenal coaching staff over the years as well. I know Coach Novosel has really kind of been your right-hand guy over the years.
Yeah, he's been here 8 of the 9. He was not here the first year, but he does, he's out here as much as I am, if that's possible, and he's I don't know how he does it. I hope I'm in good a shape and moving around as well as he is at that age. But, yeah, he's been a godsend.
So just walk us through that game. I know the emotional roller coaster from first pitch and watching Ileana, I'm sure it started there a little bit. I know you guys got to, leave here that morning. You stopped and got a little workout in, and then you got to the game. Talk me through the emotional roller coaster of that entire day.
I'll be honest. It's. I went back. I just listened to your broadcast. I do a lot of walking at home, just to kind of clear my head after school, and I listened to the whole broadcast. Of course, it took over about 2 or 3 days because it's like a 4-hour game. But so I got to. It was really the first time I'd heard your call, but I didn't get to hear the whole thing. So I did a lot of reflecting on that and brought back a lot of fond memories. But it was. Once you're in the game, you really don't think about a lot of stuff. You're thinking about your next move. Who do we use here? What can we do there? And it just kind of flies. 4 hours seem like 4 minutes, really.
I can believe that. Yeah,
and just the way it ended. We didn't do much offensively. That's probably an understatement, but we did enough, and our pitching and defense carried us through like it had all year, and. I was just excited to see the kids. We've knocked on that door several times the last few years, and to see all the hard work our kids have put in, our staff, and just to kind of see their reactions made it all worthwhile.
I would imagine. Yeah, I know the dugout was there was some hype videos that came out after the game, and a lot of confidence in that locker in that dugout throughout the entire game.
Yeah,
as the game went on, it really felt like the later that game went. And once Hogan Denny came out of that game, it was going to be tilted heavily in your guys' favor.
Yeah, our scouting report on the next guy, the guy that came in, was basically take until you get a strike.
Right.
And fortunately, we didn't see many strikes.
Yeah, we actually got some text messages from Michael back at home saying, hey, this guy throws hard, but he's a little more wild. So hopefully Lake Central's gonna bear down and wait for their pitch.
Yeah. So it was, we talked to them all leading up to the week about how talented Mooresville was, and they play a little different style. They didn't get to do much of it because our pitchers did such a good job. They didn't have many base runners, but they like to they got a little swagger to them. They like to push teams around, and I thought the longer we stayed with them, I thought we had a good shot, and it turned out to be true.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As we got back-to-back and one opportunities here, Malloy couldn't connect on the free throw, but more aggressive play here. Munster is really taking it to the rim, and Lake Central is giving him an extra opportunity here at the line.
Yeah, he goes right to the basket. He didn't waste any time after getting the ball.
Well, you had some success against Munster in sectionals and in the regular season as well, Coach. This rivalry is different than a lot of other ones.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Munster, but I'm sure they're the same way. That's the one. They circle it on their schedule. We do as well, and it's just a different atmosphere. Whether if you've ever been to one of our regular season games, it's always on a Friday night, always a big student body crowd. It's always back and forth, so it's a really great atmosphere whenever we play each other. It's really exciting.
So like in basketball where these kids in the summer play on, you can only have so many kids from one school on one team. Is baseball the same way? Do these kids play with one another in the summer on the same team?
So I actually coached. I went like 3 days after we won the state. I was coaching a summer team, and I had 5 of our Lake Central kids on it, returning players. And we had kids from Michigan City, Chesterton, Crown Point, all over. So I mean, it's gotten different. I know, when I played, you hated everybody because you didn't play with them all the time, and now it's a little more. There's more camaraderie. They know each other, and sometimes that edge is missing a little bit. But it seems like anytime us and Munster get together, that edge is there for sure.
Yeah, they say that. We were teammates at one time. Back in my day, we were no teammates either.
Yeah.
Amato hits the first free throw. I'm going to ask Zach Zanelli to turn the camera on here to our left. Let's show off the bling a little bit. Let's show off the hardware. I got to see a picture of these.
I designed this, so I think our guys were pleased with it. So
we'll put it right there. Get to zoom in a little bit. I'll get out of the way. Nobody wants to see my mug. Pretty cool right there. That's awesome stuff. I'm happy for you, Coach. So what are we thinking for this coming season? Are we repeat? I mean, you've done it. You've done it as a coach.
Done that. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy. You're fighting complacency, urgency. We've already done it. If we don't do it again, oh well, we've done it. But now you got a chance to really get in some rare company if you can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking here in any sport. I'm talking, statewide in baseball. We've had a good fall. We're just getting into the winter stuff, and I think we're gonna be a little better offensively even than we were last year. I think our pitching, especially at the top end, could be really, really good.
Yeah, I know the pitching staff.
I'm excited.
I know the pitching staff is going to be pretty good this year, and I know some of the offensive players. I know they're chomping at the bit to get at it here.
Yeah, and we got 13 guys back off last year's roster in one state. So, and a lot of those guys were, played, but they want to kind of go on this run where they can where they've got more. They're more. I don't want to say involved because everybody was important to our run, but they're getting more innings on the mound, more at bats, and they're a huge part of what's going on this year. And those guys seem to be hungry right now, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, I know for a lot of them we'll have a traveling call here. I know one of the narratives, you and I talked about this when we did preview stuff. I mean, the narrative was like, you guys have no chance. That's what everybody outside was saying. You guys have no chance, and you proved them wrong. And I'm saying that's going to be the narrative this year, but the narrative is we got to show them that we earned it. That we really deserve,
sure. And we always have a bullseye on our back. But I told them that, that bullseye got about 3 times larger this year. You beat Lake Central, and Lake Central's the defending state champ. So,
absolutely. Well, Coach, like I said, I couldn't be happier for you and the team. It's an awesome opportunity to be able to watch that run, watch the season, and happy for you, happy for the coaching staff, happy for these players. And we got another one walking up this way. I know you're really proud of this guy walking this way right now.
He's one of a kind.
For
I
sure.
like to have him back.
I do have one question for you, though. What was it, a ball or was it a strike?
I thought it was a ball. I thought the pitch before was even more of a ball.
That one was
ball 3. I thought was definitely a ball. But I mean that's baseball. I mean, if you're not throwing strikes and around the plate, you're probably not going to get calls.
Right. Yeah, we had talked about that earlier. Greg Maddox didn't throw a lot of strikes, but he was always near the plate, and he got a lot of calls because of it.
That's really left all alone with the bucket. Well, Coach, thank you very much for the time.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for all your coverage. We appreciate it.
Well, we can't wait to do more this coming year as well. So we'll have more Lake Central baseball, I'm sure, this coming spring. We'll see you, Coach. Yeah, really cool opportunity to go down to Indianapolis this past year and cover that opportunity. I never really told this story during that run, but and you know this, me having lived in your house, the first time I ever really listened to a Region Sports broadcast was back in 2012, Lake Central in that state championship game. I believe it was Chris Ramirez who was on the call for it, our executive producer. And, it was that call. It was that kind of got me a little bit more interested in in doing this broadcasting job. So that first broadcast for Region Sports I really got to hear was a state championship baseball call for Lake Central, and then, fast forward 12 years later, I get to call that same event.
Yeah, that's, you got to remember your brother was there. I coached some of those kids. It's, it's just the excitement. It's more than you can imagine. And if you're a real true fan, to hear a great call, it's unbelievable. Now you have, baseball announcers that have their home run calls. You have, basketball announcers that have their calls. Everybody's got their own little niche now, and it's exciting. Back in the day when I played basketball, you never heard and one. Whoever started the and one, that guy was a genius.
Yeah, that is a marketing tool for sure. But we do have basketball going on here at Lake Central. 41-28 the score. So we're talking about Lake Central baseball winning a state championship. It's Munster right now in basketball that's on top here in the leaderboard. Both teams heading toward the bonus. The next Lake Central foul will put Munster at the line. Munster already at 5 fouls, so that's what put Lake Central at the line. So 41-28, Munster on top. We got 1:07 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's been a really aggressive game. Both teams are really going at it. The officials the couple ticky-tack fouls that we saw early, they're letting the kids play. They're letting them work into the game.
Well, it's one of those things where we talk about you got to make sure that you maintain your control in a game. Make sure things don't get out of hand early if it gets, in a physical game like this. So they're going to impose, and not impact the game. I don't think anything has impacted the game to this point, but it's just going to let you know, hey, we're not going to let you do that early in the game, so that way nothing gets out of hand late in the game. And I respect that.
But with both teams playing man-to-man, there's some bumping. That's, for a non-contact sport, there's bumping. There's contact.
There's a lot of contact. Down to 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Munster.
Yeah, they're just going to hold this for one shot.
They are willing to wait for their shot, and that's going to be a foul there by Green. A little bit of a reach-in foul.
Yeah, when you're up by 13, the clock is probably more in your favor. You just want the quarter to end.
Green picks up his second foul. So Trilly will go to the line. Don't forget to visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and Instagram for this week's Powering Indiana Peak Performers, presented by Nika IBEW, Powering Indiana of Lake County, a subsidiary of Powering America consisting of craftsmen from the International Brotherhood of Electricians and their signatory contractors. Visit poweringIndiana.org to find out more. Trilly knocked down that first free throw. He's had a quiet night, 4 points. I may have missed a bucket or two while talking to Coach, so my numbers are not official. 2 for 2 from the line, though. You talked about Munster from the free throw line. That is definitely a spot of emphasis for them tonight. They are doing really well there. I haven't counted it up. We'll do that at the next time out, but it's been a pretty impressive night.
They're 8 for 10 this second half already. This is when the kids get a little more tired. They're still putting it right in the hoop.
Lake Central on the cut and putting it in. Zach Green. He's having a good night, and that'll end the third quarter. 13-point deficit. Munster on top. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brandner here along with Ron Brandner.
Yeah, that was a nice basket by Lake Central to end that quarter. Coach Hackett couldn't have been too happy with his guy letting the wingman go backdoor for an easy layup right as the quarter's ending.
Yeah, if you're Coach Hackett, you want no momentum for Lake Central at the moment. He wants to end any threat of that, especially when you have the lead by 13 like you do. And we're about to be joined by one of the members of the Lake Central Baseball State Championship team. And we've got now current Milwaukee Brewer prospect Griffin Tobias with us. Griffin, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me, Michael Bradner. It's always exciting to see you around.
Always happy to see you as well, sir. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Pretty physical game. This is pretty sweet. Right? The next time out, we'll try to get a little bit of that bling. Another and one opportunity for the Munster Mustangs as Keys gets to the rim. Let's go ahead and show that off. Go ahead and put that right here on that camera right there. Nobody wants to see my mug on that thing. Look at that thing. That's a beauty.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
I would imagine, yeah,
it's a lot
absolutely.
heavier than I anticipated.
Yeah, Coach said he helped design it, so.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, it even got a record on the inside. It's got our game 2-1, 12 innings. It's a fantastic day to get a ring.
Yeah, you were pretty impressive yourself in that state championship game. You had a lot of hype in that game. You actually had the lone. Technically, I thought there were at least 2 hits in the game personally, but you had the lone hit in that game.
Yeah.
That liner double out to the left field gap. Now, I think, to be honest with you, any other ballpark other than that field, that's a home run.
I was rounding the bases there. I was walking to first, to be honest, because I was hoping that went out. I didn't want to waste my breath running.
Coach didn't see that, though, so you're fine.
No, I was good. If you saw that, we probably would have been a little heated argument. But, I was surprised myself when I hit that. Had 4 Ks the rest of the game, though, so.
Well, we don't have to talk about that part.
We don't have to talk about that part.
No, we'll talk about the double that should have been a home run. You hit a home run on senior night during your senior season as well.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
It was fun.
Great.
But they're not paying you to hit. That's
no. So I just gotta, I just swing it whenever I can, and ended up getting a slider inside, and I can't hit a fastball, but I can hit a breaking ball. So
you can throw a fastball, though. I know that to be true, and the Milwaukee Brewers felt that way as well. So talk just a little bit about the game. What were your emotions going through that game? I know you're a pretty emotional guy in the sense that you show your emotion, your hype, if you will.
Yeah.
Going right to the rim there. Trilly, and we got a hard foul here by Green. So just kind of what were your emotions going through that entire game?
I mean, it's been 12 years since we got to the state finals, and I was just excited to be there, especially for Coach Swartz. I mean, he's had some hard breaks during my 4 years here. I mean, sophomore year, freshman year, and even junior year. I mean, we've all got just hard breaks, and I was just happy to be there for him. And that was a long game, and I was happy it got done because I was hungry and I just want to get some food in my belly. But it was just a great ending, and I was super pumped for the guys. I mean, everyone deserved it on that team. The hours we put in, it was just a great day.
Yeah, I know you are what I call a workhorse. Been around your family for a while. You would even leave family parties to go work out. I know you're a gym rat.
Yeah, now I don't really have to do that anymore because I got a lot of time on my hands. I don't have school, so I kind of, pick my hours wisely now so I can spend more time with my family since I'm away more. But yes, I did leave a lot of family parties because I had to get my work in.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah.
Trying to lob this one up for Green, who had it smacked out of his hands. Guaramato in transition gives it up to Malloy, who misses there. Guaramato with a rebound and pops it in. That's his first bucket of the game. He's been pretty good from the line as Enyart here now for the three-pointer. Fighting for the rebound, Brady Connor swings it back out to Green, loses the handle, regathers though in the wing. Just under 6 minutes to go here in this Munster Lake Central rivalry game as Gale, too strong off the window, tries to hit it home, and this will be sending Noah Enyart to the line. So we asked you a little bit about the state title game. How about draft day? I know that day was a little hectic for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 days of the draft. I was fortunate to get called on the second day, and it was, I was very anxious. I had a couple phone calls throughout the day, and it was just a lot of negotiation. But when I finally said yes to one of my offers, I was ecstatic. I was relieved, and I was just happy to fulfill my dream.
So at what age or at what level do you think that you actually had a chance of being drafted?
I wouldn't say junior year, because I was okay junior year. I started throwing a little harder, and I started getting a little recognition on that side. And then going into my senior fall, I finally started getting going with my velo and starting to learn how to pitch more, and that's when I started taking off a little more. I started getting noticed by scouts. There's some prep talk around me, and I ended up going to this event, Super 60, in February, where I threw really well, and that's where I started getting a lot more notice. And then obviously my senior year I thought was not to humble myself a little bit. To me, non-humble really. I thought I was pretty dominant throughout the year, and that kind of what helped me get drafted.
Yeah, I saw several games. You were definitely dominant. But as a parent, we all know our kid at 12 is going to make the major leagues.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that case at all until really senior year is when it really started to hit at me like, oh, I got a chance. I can be one of these guys out of high school, and I really wanted to go to high school. That was just one of my goals, and I got it, and I'm happy, and I'm super pumped about my decision.
Yeah, so every kid that plays Little League says the same story. We're in the backyard. It's the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. We want to get that hit to win the game.
Yeah.
Did you have that dream, or was your dream I want to strike that guy out to end the game?
Well, before I was a hitter, so yeah, I always wanted to hit a home run, 3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. You always want to hit that grand slam and
everybody
get that water pulled on you.
Everybody must be the hitter because Major League Baseball had those commercials decades ago. Chicks dig the long ball.
They do. Now they dig the heater. Now they dig the fastball, and that's what I do. And that's all I do is pitch, and I love it.
So you've been in Arizona, in the Arizona Complex League with the Milwaukee Brewers. What's that been like? I know you mentioned to me that they feed you well, but different experiences, different groups of people that you're kind of meeting, different ethnicities of people that you're meeting as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to learn Spanish when you're down in these ball clubs because your middle infield is Dominican. You got a lot of people around the world that talk different languages, and for me it was adjusting to learning a little bit of Spanish. And no, I did not learn much. I learned a lot of cuss words. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on air, and I will not be.
Well, you won't. Just don't say the words.
I won't be saying the words, but I learned a lot of cuss words, and that's kind of what's in my vocabulary of Spanish right now. But no, it was definitely an adjustment coming from a high school kid to being in a pro ball with a lot of older kids, a lot of different people around the world.
We're going to have a call here. This may have gone off the foot. So we saw a change here. Now, it's interesting. I'm not going to harp too much on it, but we did see earlier a call from the backside did not get changed here. Now, I do think this is the right call. I did think the ball did touch a Lake Central defender off the foot. Now, we're going to say it's Lake Central ball here off the hands of Munster.
Yeah, see, Munster's not really happy with that call. If it would have touched the Munster guy, I think the official making the call actually had his back screen. So it's hard. The kids are so quick nowadays. You got 3 officials out there. They still can't see everything.
Yeah, they're not going to see every little thing. There's so much that happens in a game. We talked about, even though it's a non-contact sport, there is still a ton of contact. I guess on the bump, you don't have to worry about that nearly as much.
No. Just me and the catcher.
You and the catcher. And Drew Arnold here, he called a lot of games for us during the Cal Ripken World Series. I know he was a big part of your development and your trust when you're on the bump.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go from a different catcher. I had Matt all 3 years, and then I went to Drew Arnold, so it was definitely a little adjustment. We had to learn how to get on the same page, and it worked because we were clicking at the end of the year, and it was a great relationship I developed.
Okay, so by being a hitter also, you've just thrown a guy 2 curveballs and you got him way off speed.
Yeah.
Are you throwing the third one?
Yeah, why not? Triple up on it. I mean, a lot of people say, no, throw the fastball, get up in the zone. I mean, you just got to read the hitter and got to know what he's sitting, what he's not. I mean, a lot of the time, the third breaking ball, it's okay. If you throw it out of the zone, you can always come back with a fastball or throw a fourth one. You never know.
Because they always say, and Steve Stone was notorious for it, you should throw this. Well, everybody knows that's what you should be throwing. Yeah. I know it. You know it. The guy in the stands knows it. The hitter should know it. So why can't he gear up for what he knows he can't hit?
The hitting's hard. Hitting is hard. I mean, It's just a tough sport to hit a baseball.
Well, that's what they say. To hit a round ball with a round bat has got to be the most difficult thing coming, and you have about a second and a half to decide whether or not you're swinging.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as easy as slow pitch softball like I play. That ball's just coming, big 12-inch softball, you're not missing that.
No, you're not. Baseball, it's hard.
Well, we're really proud of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So what has been the biggest development that you've made while in Arizona? What has been which pitch has been the one that you've grown with so far the most?
That's a pretty interesting question because I wouldn't say it's really developed. The ball has definitely been a different game changer. It's easier to spin. It's a lot lower seams than high school, so all my pitches kind of started taking off and started becoming more efficient. I started using my fastball more, so that's kind of what helped my other breaking balls work better.
And you got to go when you got to Arizona. You got to hang out with other Lake Central grad Josh Adamszewski as well. I know he was battling the injury bug, but got to be with him for a little while. I'm sure that was helpful when you were making your way to Arizona.
Yeah, he was just like an apartment away from me, so I hung out with him for about a week until he got called up, and it was just, it's always good to have somebody when you go to a different place. So that was very helpful for me.
Yeah, it's got to be hard for these guys that come from other countries too. They don't know anyone. They don't speak English. It's got to be hard to communicate. Is it a 24-hour regiment that they know exactly what you're doing every minute of the day, every hour of the day?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tight schedule. I mean, you have a lot of free time that you didn't think you'd have, and it's kind of figuring out what to do in that free time and how to be productive and not just sit on the couch.
Right.
So there's a lot of adjustment for me, coming from homework to doing a lot of stuff, and now it's like, I got like the rest of the day to do something. It's a new thing for me.
Is there more weight training than there?
I wouldn't say there's more. It's more intensity, a lot more just intense stuff. It's an overall just a hard job because you got to be healthy every day. You got to do your mobility checks. I mean, you got to stay on top of just being healthy because if you get hurt, it sucks going to rehab and going through all their protocols. So
right.
It's just try to stay on the field as long as you can.
Because they've talked about pitchers back in the day that had perfect technique, would never get hurt. They all got hurt. It's hard. You're doing something that's not natural.
Yeah, it's hard. You can't throw 90 miles per hour every day and your arm's going to stay healthy. It's just not a natural thing for the body.
Right.
So it's just trying to stay on the field, like I said, try to stay healthy and not get in rehab. So you got to, hit the hot tubs, do recovery. It's just trying to stay healthy is all it is.
So a little development in this game here in front of us here as Tyler Fuller has picked up his fourth foul. So he is one foul away from being taken out of this ball game, and he has been a big factor for Munster in this one so far today. And there's Brady Connor at the line. He missed both free throws. So Munster will have the ball here. 3:33 to go in this one, and we have a timeout taken by Trilly. So Coach mentioned when he was on here with us that there was a team meeting. You guys had a meal together earlier, and I asked him if he kept it together talking to you guys. Did he keep it together this time?
Yeah, he kept it together.
All right. I didn't know if he was lying to me or not.
No, he kept it. I thought he was going to get a little emotional, but he kept it together. Deep down, I know he was a little emotional to see everyone again. I mean, he got into the Hall of Fame this year, and I think
yes, he did.
One of the main reasons is because he won state again. I mean, he's a big accomplishment, winning state in two different divisions. I mean, he's just a phenomenal coach. I mean, I wouldn't want to play for anyone else but him.
Yeah, there were a lot of things I wanted to mention about his accomplishments, but I know he doesn't want that. He doesn't want himself touted like that, so I didn't do that with him. But I know he's very proud of you guys. It was an incredible run, awesome experience.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't have been more thrilled to watch. I've known you since you were an 8th grader. A little battle of the cheerleaders here, making their way all across the floor. I tell you what, going back to the Lake Central Munster rivalry, you talk about sectionals. I remember there was even a little competition on who's going to get all the foul balls from behind. Wasn't there? There was even I can't remember. Was it Robinson that sailed across the diamond or sailed across behind the plate just to be able to get a foul ball?
Even my freshman year, there was a big controversy of foul balls. We had Praski. He ran into a kid. It was just there's always a rivalry with Munster. I mean, even here, this is a physical game. It's always fantastic to watch Munster and Lake Central battle. I mean, it's just...
Well, and I know it means a little bit more to you as well. And I know I told this story before, but I feel like it's important to tell again. You used to be babysat by Coach Schenken's wife, the late Coach Schenken. So I know you've been invested in that program to an extent for quite a while.
I went to Munster camps. I lived in Munster for a while until my dad got a job here at Lake Central, and then we moved out here. Now I'm a big Lake Central fan, and just a big rivalry between Munster and Lake Central. I mean, it's a big game. It's always good to play them. They always bring their A game. It's fantastic.
Well, I know Coach Schenken got to watch you play third base when he was in the third base coach's box, so I know that was a big deal for him. Pretty cool, for sure. Well, I am proud of you. It's been fun watching you develop. I can't wait to watch you continue. I hope I get to watch you in a big league park one of these days, and I will be one of the first ones to buy a ticket.
Oh, I'll get you a ticket. Don't buy it. I'll get you a ticket.
Well, I want to help pay your salary.
Okay. That helps me out then. Well, thanks for having me on air, and I'll see you around.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, appreciate it.
But
we'll get more of that. We'll get more of that bling.
We're
for
big Cub fans, so if you pitch against the Cubs, we're hoping for a Cubs 1-0 victory and you a no decision.
All right, I'll try to make it then.
That'll work. All right, Griffin, Tobias, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
3 minutes left to go in this one. Lake Central trailing 51-38. Green with the floater. He's had a pretty good night tonight. Kroenke with the rebound. Gale for three. Off the back iron. Enyart with the rebound. Kroenke maybe got a little too close to that one. Salvador going to come close this one out. Does he save it? It's out of bounds. Lake Central ball.
Yeah, Lake Central had a shot there right underneath the basket. Two Lake Central guys ran into one another, and we lost control of the ball.
.243 to go in this one.
Yeah, Lake Central hasn't
38. Sorry,
Lake Central hasn't hit a lot of threes, so none this second half. So to come back 13 points with 2.5 minutes, they're going to have to change the offense a little bit here. And
Gale trying to feed the baseline, but it had it poked away. Stolen by Keys and Aguaramato.
Yeah, Enyart was supposed to roll all the way to the basket. He got kind of screened off. The ball went, but he didn't make it there. It's back court.
Tiptoeing that
call the foul.
Half-court line, but it's going to be a foul against Lake Central. I think when going back and looking at the film, one of the things is trying to limit these fouls. And both teams at 5, so both teams are in the bonus. So it's an automatic 2 free throws for both teams at this point on any foul.
Yeah, that was Gale who just fouled out of the game. So
Spencer Gale has fouled out. And now from the free throw line yet again, Josh Malloy knocks that one down. And Munster kicking off a tough week. They got a tough one here against Lake Central in the Duneland Athletic Conference, and they will play Crown Point later in the week. And now the Munster student section screaming, "This is our house!" And right now, they have every right to say that. It's going to be a reach-in foul on Trilly here, so this will send Enyart to the line. I mentioned how the last time Munster won a sectional championship, it was right here on this floor. They had to sting a little bit for the Lake Central faithful.
Yeah, it's just a turnaround because didn't Nick Anderson hit the big shot?
Well, that was the year, but that was the few years before that. But that was a semifinal game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lake Central would go on to play Morton in the sectional championship the next night and win sectionals that year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the state of Indiana has the tournament set right with this blind draw instead of by seeding. Sometimes
it's definitely open for some discussions, as a lot of people maybe feel that way. Some people like the blind draw. The one thing about the blind draw is that it does allow, this is kind of the IHSAA's point of it, is that it allows those teams, maybe that would be looked at as not a favorite to win, to still have a chance to at least get a victory. That's what a lot of people don't like, is Green pokes this one away. Green goes up and scores. Well, and that's what, we'll take a full timeout, so we'll actually step aside real quick here. You are watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network.
Yeah, we were talking about that blind draw. The only problem with some fans that they think that the sectional championship game could have been played on Tuesday or could have been played on Thursday.
Yeah, no, that's the counter to it, and the IHSA had to think multiple ways about that, and there's a lot of arguments either way. I understand both sides. Yeah, because definitely you want your biggest matchups, your best matchups to come later in the tournament. But, for depending on which school is hosting, sometimes those early matchups, sometimes you may not get the matchup. There's always upsets. So the draws that you get, it all just there's not a perfect solution to it. Like no. Central with a full court press here. Munster going to try to get around that, trying to get the stop here. Trilly got to get across the timeline, and that's a 10-second call.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that the 1 seed and 2 seed, even on opposite ends of the brackets, are going to make it to the championship game.
Absolutely. I've called some surprising victories. Some people think one team has a chance to get far into sectionals, and that's not what ends up happening. And it's happened to Munster as well. Salvador for 3, knocks it in. He's made 2 baskets, both of the 3 variety, and now Lake Central trying to pick up the pressure here. This one poked out of bounds. Kroenke will knock it out. Munster ball, excuse me.
Yeah, that 3 cut it to 9 points, so they're down to single digits. They've really picked up the intensity on the defensive side. That should be picked off.
That's going to be picked off. Enyart going to be fouled as he goes up. Probably a good foul for Munster, just because of the fact that it doesn't turn into an and-one situation, but it does automatically send him to the line. Now, Noah Enyart has not been perfect from the line. I've got him 2 of 4. I might be wrong. And actually, that foul was against Guaramato. So that is his 5th. So we've got 2 foul outs in this game. So Guaramato checks out for a foul out, and Spencer Gale has fouled out of the game as well for Lake Central.
Yeah, Guaramato is looking down at his shirt thinking, hey, you called that on number 5. That's me. Maybe he didn't think he was even in the play.
So Enyart to the line, trying to help Lake Central get a little bit closer. Knocks it down that time. I mean, if you're Lake Central, the numbers haven't been great. Well, they haven't been awful at the free throw line, but they haven't been great either. But now's the time to start hitting them. And just like that, Enyart goes 2 for 2. And we'll have a timeout taken by Coach Hackett. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll step aside. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here along with Ron Brander. Zach Sinelli working the production today, doing a phenomenal job. Clint Klaus also doing a great job on the camera. So we've got some of the best hands in the business, just like Bricklayers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. At BAC Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky, you'll develop skills that will last a lifetime. For more info, visit baclocal4.org. Cutting this to a 7-point game. It was starting to balloon a little bit for the Munster Mustangs, but Lake Central trying to roar back into this one. There's only a minute 15 to go. Does Lake Central have enough of a run?
Yeah, they
to catch the Mustangs.
They cut it to 7.
And run the baseline after a made basket. Trying to find someone to inbound it to. They find Trilly. Stolen away, but it's knocked out of bounds by Enyard. And I'm sure Coach Sexton will be okay with that. Just a little bit closer to the line, to the half-court line than he probably would have liked. And Coach Sexton even getting up on the stands. I like it. Directing the plays here. Trilly had it poked away. Enyard to Kroenke. In! This full court press has given Munster some fits. Giving it here to Keys, and a foul against Enyard. Lake Central saying there was a travel, but the foul occurred first.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, and the guy lost his balance. If he wouldn't have lost his balance, there wouldn't have been a foul.
So Enyard picks up his 4th foul, in jeopardy of fouling out of the game. And with 58 seconds to go, we're not taking him out of the game. So Keys with a couple of pivotal free throws here. That's a big one to knock down the 6'3" senior, Zaire Keys. Makes it a 2-possession game, 6 points. And now 7. Talk about pressure free throws. Green with 54 seconds to go, directing traffic. Enyard up, fouled, but there's no basket.
Yeah,
so the foul looks like it's against Keys. That'll only be his 2nd.
He just rolled right to the basket. They lobbed it over to defense, and then they had defensive help. He didn't think he got him, but he got called for the foul.
Yeah, Malloy was a little below the line there. He had to get back behind the line. He's trying to direct a little bit of traffic there. So 2 free throws coming for Enyard. First one misses off the mark. Again, we have awards we're going to hand out at the end of this one. We've got the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. We've got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. And then the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by the Region Sports Network. Throwing over the top there, out to Fuller, who's been playing with 4 fouls. So poke from behind for Kroenke, and I believe that'll be his 4th. Yeah, that'll be his 4th. So it sends Munster to the line again, but trying to stop the clock. 39.4 seconds to go in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough when you're all you're trying to do is get the and ones on Lake Central side. I don't know if they just don't shoot a lot of threes.
Malloy doesn't connect on the first one. So that leaves it a 2-possession game right now. And Lake Central, with 39 seconds, does not have to settle for 3-pointers. They can drive to the basket, hope to get fouled. Knocks that one down, so makes it a 3-possession game. We gotta get to the rim quickly here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to push it.
Green almost had it stolen away. Enyard, top of key for 3, rattles around, no good. Kroenke flying in, and now Salvador having a foul from behind.
Yeah, they could have ran out the clock. If he wouldn't have got him there would have been a lot of open space where I don't think Munster would have shot the ball. I think he'd have just kept dribbling around.
Yeah, we mentioned how the Munster student section had kind of said, this is our house, this game's over. Then Lake Central started roaring on back.
Yeah, really
Malloy here from the line. Got it.
They really picked up the intensity on the full court press and gave Munster some fits, but this is something that both coaches are seeing this. All what's going to matter is the end of February.
Knocking down both free throws that time. Well, yeah, I mentioned Lake Central's had the last 2 years against Munster in the regular season, but Munster has won 3 straight sectional games against Lake Central. So which matters more, regular season or sectionals? And I would have to argue sectionals means a little bit more.
Yeah, regular season it's just a feeling out each other to see where you stand at this point. We're talking, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. But you want to see how you stand up against the competition that you're going to see in sectionals.
Well, definitely beefing up the schedule. Both teams play a pretty tough schedule, and that's one thing. We talked about. Maybe you're not a fan of the blind draw, but at the same time, teams will beef up their schedule so that way they are ready come, later in the year. They play their sectionals when they go to regionals and semi-state, so that way they're playing some of the better competition that you're talking about. So that way they're ready to go late in the season as Malloy knocks that one down. Because in the end, when it comes down to it, you can go 0-20, but then if you play some of the tough teams, you have a chance to, be a winning team come sectional time. The lead back up to 11. 3-point ball off the mark, and that will finish it out. Munster gets the win at Lake Central tonight. 60-49, your final. Really tough game for Munster tonight. Really physical. Really good on defense, in my opinion, tonight, Dad.
Right, that's really great. Lake Central scored 19 points that last quarter, so they picked it up, but it's the intensity for that whole fourth quarter, the last 4 minutes was just unbelievable. Both teams really giving it their all. Somebody wants a victory.
We're going to step aside for just a moment. We're going to crunch the numbers, and we'll be back. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Bradner here along with my dad, Ron Bradner. All right, we've got awards we're going to hand out. We promised you all game long, and we're going to finally bring them to you. So it's time to name the Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowd Companies they have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Yeah, so the Lantern Man has got to be Joshua Malloy. He hit 8 out of 9 free throws down the stretch there to keep that lead going. That's pretty impressive. Late in the game, you got the ball all the time. You're tired. To hit 8 out of 9 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he had a really good night from the free throw line. Couple of threes in his box score as well. So the junior, Josh Malloy, getting your Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. All right, our Boilermakers Local 374 blue-collar player of the game is...
I would have to go with Zachary Green. Zachary, the whole game, both halves, played strong, played smart, hit a lot of twos. The guy's got a smooth shot. He's coming to play every day.
And he had a few turnovers and jumping in those passing lanes to get turnovers and deflections and all that kind of stuff. So we had a really nice game overall. Zach Green of Lake Central. All right, our proud in-home play of the game presented by the Region Sports Network.
I think the play of the game was Zaire Keys. With 58 seconds to go, he nailed the 2 free throws at a clutch time to bump the lead back up to 7. When you're up by 5, it's close. There's a minute to go. There's a lot of pressure. He put them both right in, nothing but net.
Perfect opportunity there to capitalize for the senior. All right, our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our operations manager, Rich Castillo. Our coordinating producer is Zach Miller. Our sports director is Mike Dewan. Your broadcast crew tonight, myself, Michael Bradner, along with my dad, Ron Bradner. who, for those Munster faithful, are going to be losing a pretty great mailman. He's going to be retiring at the end of the year. So congratulations on a successful career. Only a few weeks left. We've got holidays to go through as well, but I know Munster won't be the same without you out there.
Yeah, I'll miss it. I have a lot of good friends out there. I see some of the faithful Munster fans that have been coming for years. I saw Ron Ostoich, he was here. An old 76 sectional champions for the Morton Governors. It was good to see him across the gym.
Our producer tonight was Zach Zinelli. Our cameraman was Clinton Klaus. They do phenomenal work as always. I know Zach was hoping that maybe the White Sox would have drafted Griffin Tobias at one point, but sorry, we didn't get the guy either that we wanted, Zach. Sorry, the Brewers took him. Our coaches for tonight, Mike Hackett and Ryan Sexton, thank them for giving us everything we needed to be successful tonight. And, of course, the athletic directors, Mike Schultz and Chris Enyart, for getting us everything we needed. And, of course, you, the viewers, on Facebook, YouTube, and IHSAA TV. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you very much from our family, the Bradners, and everyone here at the Region Sports Network. I know me personally, I don't think I'll have a broadcast before we get to the holidays, so I want to wish everyone a great holiday season. I know we will have more broadcasts before we get to the holidays here on the Region Sports Network, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We have a lot of action coming up before the winter break. You've been watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.